Hey everybody, it is Odin, and today we are going to start a playthrough, which could be short, could be long, who knows, of Unreal World. So really quickly, this is a hardcore roguelike set in Iron Age Finland, and it has been in active development since 1992. So I can't think of any other roguelike that is as complicated as this one, in a good way, by the way, except for maybe Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. So anyway, I'm not very good at it. I only became aware of this game, believe it or not, probably about, I don't know, several months ago. I played several times, but I'm still very rusty, so this is not going to be any sort of expert playthrough. I'm going to be fumbling and bumbling around. So let's create a character. And you have different options for what you can do. We're just going to do custom. Alright, so our name is going to be Odin. Okay. Uh, let's see. Oh, I already have a file with that name. Okay. Let's go ahead and just change it then. I'd probably use that too. Let's try this. There we go. So after you choose your name, you're going to choose a culture. And as you kind of mouse over, it shows you down at the bottom of the screen a short one-sentence description. So we have those who live in the Kalmo, that's vast forests. These are people in the southwest coastal area. They have small loose villages, and I think you can actually click on it. Oh no, let's go back. Oh yeah, you can press F1 to see. Yeah, to see more. Okay, they live mainly by fishing, hunting, and slash and burn agriculture. Right? They live in the southeast part. And again, we could look at these further. But I think, let me take a quick look here. Yeah, so these people are traders. I think I actually want to try to be just a fisherman, live on my own as a fisherman. Um, Indeed, I think would be the way to go because fishing is kind of in the culture already. I mean, it's probably in most of them, but so we're going to choose that culture. We're going to be a male. And then you can choose what your character looks like from a wide selection of pictures. And so you kind of ask yourself, well, what does this person look like? I usually choose this dude because, with the hair, it just has something going on that's working. So that's usually what we go with, but you can obviously see a few others there. Actually, let's go with this guy. Let's go with this guy because we could aspire to this, to not just kind of, we won't just be fishing. Obviously, we're going to have to be doing some chopping of trees and some crafting, so let's go with that. And choose a season to start in. Of course, I'm a noob, essentially. I'm going to choose spring. Alright, and so now you see that you are 16 winters old as you start your journeys. So your cultural background and startup selections are now completed, and your character profile looks like this. Are you happy with these attributes? So strength is going to be really high. Endurance is okay. Dexterity is high. Agility is very high. I'm actually, eyesight is not so good. That's a bit concerning. But we're not really going to be hunting so much as we are fishing, and I don't think eyesight is as important in that case. All right. So 71 inches tall, that's 180 centimeters. I can't even convert this into how many feet this is. I don't even know. And there's the weight. All right, so let's go with that. All right, so we're going to want to choose one of these spells or rites or rituals here to go with. So this is just something that you can use in the game. I'm going to go with General Sacrifice. And this is an all-round way to sacrifice something in order to please or thank the spirits and other worldly beings in various occasions. I don't know all that much about interactions with the unseen world, but that is a thing. Okay, so yeah, so that's good. As a matter of fact, we might actually, do we start with all of them? That might be what it is. All right, so over here are our skills. And I really like the fact that it tells you here in very plain language, like, what each of these percentages represents tier-wise or rank-wise. So fishing is going to be very, very important for us. So that's something that we're gonna have to select. So anyway, you have 5 of these points. and they're improvement points. And so like if I go to fishing, and I say, okay, let's go with, actually, oh, that's right, it's plus and minus. I am a fool. Okay, so that would make me competent. And so now I have 4 points left. Most of the stuff in this game, by the way, is done with the mouse, or not the mouse, with the keyboard. I was going to say mouse and keyboard. But it is very, very old school. But I am using, of course, the mouse. It has some limited use. Okay, so fishing's important. I think timbercraft is going to be important, but we're already skilled, so I don't think I need to add anything to that right now. Tracking is going to be something that might be important. It might not. I don't know if we're going to have to supplement our fish diet. Probably not. So I'm going to want cookery also, because if we do that, that's going to help us make something of the fish so that we can potentially get more from them. Building is also going to be something I'm going to put a point into so that we can build a structure for ourselves and that kind of thing. I'm not too worried about these physical skills right now. I see that we're skilled with an axe. Unarmed is not too bad, or dodge is not too bad, so I'm not even going to add to these skills. And you can already see, of course, also another indication of how good you are in a particular skill. So we have 2 more points. Let's go with carpentry. That would be important as well. And I'll just put another one into fishing if I can. I don't know if I can. No, I can't. Not at this point. Okay. So let's go. All right. Well, in that case, actually, I'm gonna go with tracking. That could come in handy. Okay, so I am happy with this. Okay, so the world is going to be generated for us, as you can see here. Now this is the world map. Okay. Now if we're looking around here, this is telling us the spot that we would start in. So we can say enter and play this world, or we can re-randomize the world, or we can re-randomize the start location. This doesn't seem too bad to me. I mean, we have access to the ocean, just a little bit to the north, and we have access to some inland lakes here. So I don't see a problem with that particular arrangement. So we're going to enter and play this world. Okay, so these are the scenarios that you can start the game with. So it tells you here on the right what each one is. So what I usually do, because again, I've only played the game probably anywhere between 10 to 20 times so far. Like, 10 to 20 characters. Maybe towards 20. But anyway, so this just kind of gives you a starting scenario again. What I would like to do, this is interesting. I want to be a fisherman, it says. So carrying extensive fishing equipment, you start to follow your path as a fisherman. I've never done that before. Then, of course, that's going to give us gear and things. That is interesting. I think we're going to go with the village, though. So at the age of 16, you've left your home and village. During your childhood and adolescent years, you've learned the skills and ways of your people until you decided it was time for you to go search for a path of your own. Because basically, I want to be a hermit. That's what this guy, Thunor, is going to be all about. A hermit who sustains himself by fishing. Okay? And the thing is, when you start near a village, that you have a place to go if things get dire. And you can interact with people in the villages, things like that. So we're going to select this scenario. Now this is not a scenario, but this is called a course. Alright, and this is, you can either just go into the game and it's total sandbox, that's the Unreal world, or you can go with Living in the Wild, which this is what I've done every time. Living in the Wild is very helpful, especially for newer players, like myself, basically, because it gives you a set, basically a set list of quests, of tasks, and you do them in order, and it kind of tells you how to do it and coaches you through all the different things. So I am going to choose Living in the Wild. But I'm not necessarily going to focus on the tasks, but I will show them off, I guess. Alright, so character creation completed. Thunor, not even going to try, is about to enter Unreal World. So we have a Finnish proverb here. The world will surely teach one, if nothing else, than to walk slowly. Alright. And so here's the kind of opening splash screen for you. So among the peoples there are several different runes and myths about the origin of the world and how it became unreal. However, a common core is clearly visible, which is not a surprise, as all the peoples are of the same origin. The basic myth goes as follows. In the beginning, the world was bare and silent. The wind, the forest, and all the animals were formed out of the song of Sky Father and Earth Mother. As all the creatures sung together, the Anemo woke up and joined the singing. But the harmony was broken when the Anemo had to build a lodge for a shelter in the first winter. And when the first winter was over, the wise ones among the peoples realized that the world was no more real. And you can read more about this, and there's a very rich lore, and again, this is all based on Finnish history, and again, the game takes place in Iron Age Finland. That's the obviously the world is randomly generated, but that's the cultural background and that kind of thing. Okay, so here's the scenario description here, and so we've seen that. All right, so here this is the main interface of the game. So up here we can see the time of day. I believe this represents possibly temperature, but again, I don't know, and those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know not to trust, well, anything I say. And this is where we're at. This is telling us that it's the end of winter, which is kind of disappointing. Because, yeah, so usually when you choose your starting season, you start a couple weeks, I think it is, prior to the actual start of that season. But I think we'll be alright. I think we'll be alright. And it is morning. And time, because this is a classic roguelike, time only moves when you do something, right? So you can see how much we're carrying and how much of an encumbrance penalty we get from that. This will fill up as we get tired, if we get injured, or as we get hungry, if we run out of our hunger, or if it basically hunger maxes out, we start to starve. This is telling us the direction we are facing, or walking actually, and you can see that represented there as well. It tells us how we're doing nutrition-wise, warmth, vigor, what we're wielding, and this is where all the descriptions of things are going to occur. So there's basically two types of maps. We have like the world map, which is what we're on right now, and then if you press enter, I believe, oh, I have to press space to continue right here. As you explore the wilderness, a settlement comes into view ahead. Press space to continue. Oh, I didn't, that's right. So here is the list of tasks I had just mentioned, and it says the first thing you need to do is find a water source. So explore your surroundings until you find a source of fresh water, like a lake or even a pond. And remember, we have a lake to our south, or we should. And it tells you your related key commands. So again, if you're familiar with hardcore roguelikes, you know that there's a keybind for everything, and there's so many different things that you can do. And this is going to tell you right here. So Q is to drink. L, lowercase l, because it is case sensitive, or F3 will look. So we'll close that. Okay, so now I can press enter, and we will zoom into the local map. And so on the local map, we can move around, and we do that, of course, with the numpad. I believe you can also do that with the arrow keys. Yes, you can. We can kind of look around, and you can see how your line of sight is obscured. You can see that we're in a coniferous forest. You can see that up there. So real quick, let's press I and look at our inventory. So it started us with a rough knife, which is really good, a club, also good, and a fine maul. I did not expect that. So we are well protected. We also have some decent clothing, which is great because it is the latter part of winter. Fine leather boots, fine linen trousers, a rough woolen tunic, I'm really glad about that, and fur mittens, also a very good thing. We also have a mug, and we started with some food. So we have some rye bread, some roasted forest reindeer cuts, and some roasted black grouse cuts. And I didn't even realize this prior to playing it, but a grouse is a type of bird. I did not know this. Alright, so that's good. We started off with some good items here. The only thing that concerns me is I don't have an axe. And I'm going to want to be, cutting down some trees and getting some wood, doing some carpentry. So that could be an issue. That could be an issue. But okay, let's see. Also, I should mention that I believe it is the question mark which brings up the keybinds. Yes, that's correct. So if you press your question mark, you'll get this screen. And I have to do this quite frequently just to remember things. Um, okay, so just real. Oh, and there are levels of zoom. I forgot to mention that. Um, so you can use Control minus or Control plus to do that. Okay, so G is pick things up. Capital G is pick it up from adjacent. Right. Okay, move, push, inventory, wield. Okay, E lowercase e is to eat. Okay, this is good. Okay. All right, there's how you look at your skills. You build a fire. Uh, this is what I was looking for right now. It's either capital M or the plus sign. That's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press the plus sign. And that's going to bring up the handcraft options here. And so you can look at these different things. What I'm thinking is utility articles might be where I would find an axe. No, not seeing an axe in that list of things. Oops, I didn't mean to close that. I guess might be under weapons, yeah, so if we wanted to make a stone axe, it says a crude but effective weapon which can be used to cut down trees. So if we look at that, it's going to tell us what we're going to need. We're going to need a stone, a slender trunk, and we can find these, I believe, already fallen, maybe? Otherwise, I don't know how we're going to get that. 3 feet of rope, that's a bit troubling. I have not successfully, I don't think, made rope. But we do have a knife, of course. But so that will tell us what we need there. So that's going to have to wait. Let's look at the world map again. So I'm going to press enter. And we know that there is a water source to the south. So now we can actually move on the world map. And we will cover more ground and more time will pass because obviously we're traveling further distances each turn. So I'm just going to start moving south, and you can see that up top it changes whenever we enter a new place. And also below the description, I can't pronounce any of these names. And if you reach like a hill or a high point, you'll be able to see much more than I can see right now, because I'm in dense forest. So if we get out of this forest, it would be much better. Okay, so now we can see a little bit. So I'm just going to keep moving. Now that tile right there gave us a really good vantage point. We could also try shift minus. Oh no, I don't know what I just did. Oh, I don't know what happened, but I think a bunch of time just passed because our hunger went up. Okay, so welcome to Odin playing any game. Things like this are going to happen, I apologize. Okay. Alright. And you'll notice that it is now noon up here. Things have changed a bit. We have some fatigue, the hunger has gone up, thirst has gone up, but we're still alright. Okay. Okay, so let's get to this open area. I wonder... Okay, as you explore the wilderness, a settlement comes into view up ahead. Well, that's great, actually. I wonder is it possible that I'm walking on like a frozen lake? I think it would show me that. I don't think that's what's happening. Okay, so there's the settlement. So we can actually just take a quick look here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right next to it. I mean, we can go onto the tile and yeah, and it'll zoom us in automatically. And so if we look over here, you notice that you try to click on this, like it's not going to do anything, right? So what you can do is press L to look, and then you can move this here, press enter, and it says you see a stone there. So I press escape to get out of that, and I can just step here, press G, you pick up the stone. Here's a person right here, so we can go up to them and we can chat. I believe it's either lowercase c or capital C, and we don't want to press the wrong thing because who knows what will happen. Okay, lowercase is close a door, so it's capital C right there, right? Right, and choose target. Oh, you can actually use the mouse to select the target. Okay. Alright, so there's me, right? And then there's this child from this tribe, and I can just greeting stranger, what's on your mind? And I say, what's on my mind, and I tell him my name. No, how about, who are you? They call me Sima. Okay, how's it going? Can't complain, that's what the adults tell me. Okay, I am Thunor, good to know you, and goodbye. Alright, so we can continue walking right here, and let's try this. I think I used, nope, see, that can't, let me check this one more time. For the zoom, I must be doing this wrong. Oh, I'm doing shift instead of control. I am such a fool. There we go. So this is as far as we can zoom out, and then we can zoom that far in. So yeah, right? Either way, we can stay right here at the closest. I can try to chat with this guy, and he's a shaman actually. And I can say, how about? Well, let's greet him first, and then go over here and let's see if he wants to trade. Sorry, stranger, I've got nothing to trade. If you like the goods around here, just pick up the ones you need. Come talk, and we'll see about trading then. So you see how trading with people in villages works with NPCs. So if we can find a building, like if we zoom out here a bit, we could go down here, and they'll usually... Okay, we're zoomed in. Yeah, if you walk in, you can usually see things on the ground. So if I like look on the ground here, you say there's reindeer fur and there's lynx fur. So I could pick that up and then go talk to someone about trading for it. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything to trade, and I'm kind of dealing with something a little more important, finding that water source. So actually what I'm gonna do is eat something. So that's lowercase e. And I'll have one of the flat rye breads. I can't even talk now. Okay. So you can see our hunger went down. Now I'm going to go back to the world map. Oh, I need to get a little far out of the town first. Forgot about that. Still further. Maybe we're seeing some tracks there. Okay. Still need to go further. There we are. Okay. So let's keep searching for the water source. Okay, so we're seeing, now I believe this represents maybe a marsh, or that might be what this is. Don't know what, this might just be a small pond. Let's take a quick look here. This is a lake. Now behind me, that's gray because I can't see that way. If I can turn, then it's going to change. Now this looks really strange because of the snow. If it were a different season, there'd be a much richer environment that you would see. Okay. So if this is fresh water, we should be able to just press Q, and it says drink from the natural source, and we say, yeah. And then we do that, and it says, hey, you completed a task. And then it's going to tell me the next one. Now it asks me to zoom and do this kind of thing. And it says, okay, you did that. And then it says, okay, now go pick something up. And so we'll do that as we go, but we won't focus too heavily on it. Alright, so let's go back to the world map, because I saw something larger in terms of a water source. At least I thought I did. Oh, it's another one of these small. I thought I saw a larger one. Did not. Okay, so now it's raining. I kind of feel like maybe that water source will be fine. And it's relatively close to the settlement. I mean, we could basically set up... somewhere right around here. I wonder if some of this is supposed to be... I don't know. Let's see, where was the... Okay, there's... I wonder if all of this is supposed to be water, but it's just broken there. I think that might be what it is. I think that might be what it is. So this would probably be the edge. So what we could do is we could make a settlement right around here. Probably just try to find... Maybe get rid of these trees if we can, and this would be a great spot. Alright, so this is where we're going to end our first episode. I'd just like to thank you for hanging out this long, if you're still with me. And we're going to keep making these episodes and just kind of see how it goes. Again, my character could die at any time. basically due to my ineptitude, but we'll see what happens. But thank you very much again. Please like and subscribe if you are so inclined, and I will see you next time.